Mariah Carey just said something that could shatter the polished image of two of music's biggest icons, Beyoncé and Jennifer Lopez. After decades of silence, Mariah dropped a bombshell. "They stole my career." Fans were stunned, the internet lit up, and suddenly, the world saw pop music history through a different lens. But where did this all start? And why is Mariah speaking up now? In the 90s, Mariah Carey wasn't just a singer. She was the music industry's crown jewel. With a 5-octave range, record-breaking hits, and complete creative control, she set a standard no one could touch. From songwriting to stage presence, she blended R&B soul with pop perfection. She was the blueprint, but behind the glitz, others were watching and learning. Around the early 2000s, two new forces stormed the scene. Beyoncé, breaking out from Destiny's Child, and J.Lo, transitioning from acting to singing, began dominating charts, stages, and headlines. Their rise wasn't subtle. Suddenly, they were everywhere. The choreography, the power vocals, the image control, even the vocal ad-libs, all reminiscent of a certain diva who had done it all first. Recently, Mariah finally broke her silence. In a resurfaced interview, she hinted, then stated outright, that these women didn't just follow in her footsteps, they co-opted them. "They stole my career," she said. And it wasn't just a passing comment. It was direct, intentional, loaded. Fans who'd followed Mariah for years knew this wasn't petty jealousy. It was a reckoning. And the evidence? It's everywhere. J.Lo's early 2000s glam pop was almost a copy-paste of Mariah's Butterfly era. Beyoncé's vocal runs, once praised for their originality, bore uncanny similarities to Mariah's layered harmonies. Even their reinventions, visual albums, fragrance lines, diva personas, echoed what Mariah pioneered. Is it flattery or theft? Whispers from inside the industry add more fuel. There were long-standing rumors that Tommy Mottola, Mariah's ex-husband and label boss, allegedly sabotaged her while elevating J.Lo. Stories of sample swaps, blocked releases, and manufactured media feuds circulated for years. Add to that the power players who began investing in Beyoncé's solo career, right when Mariah took a step back, and things get murky. Once this interview clip resurfaced, fans took it and ran. TikTok timelines flooded with side-by-side comparisons. Twitter, now X, debates raged. Reddit threads unpacked the timeline, pointing out every eerie similarity. Many younger fans, unaware of Mariah's full legacy, were suddenly questioning everything. Did pop culture crown the wrong queens? Then comes the question, why now? Mariah's not one to make moves without purpose. She's been teasing a memoir sequel, and rumors swirl about a legacy documentary. Is she reclaiming her narrative before someone else rewrites it? Maybe. Or maybe she's simply done being silent while others cash in on her blueprint. Timing isn't a coincidence, it's strategy. And if Beyoncé or J.Lo respond, that's when things get real. So far, neither has addressed the statement, but silence can be deafening. Will they brush it off as shade, defend their originality, or stay silent and let the internet battle it out? One thing's for sure, this isn't just about pop music, it's about credit, legacy, ownership, the idea that one woman paved the way and watched others walk it with better lighting and more support. Mariah's words shift how we look at the last 25 years of music and force us to ask a hard question. Are the true pioneers being erased? But this feud isn't just generational, it's gendered too. Mariah's legacy has often been dismissed under the weight of industry favoritism and shifting media narratives. She's been labeled a diva, emotional, difficult, while others were branded as empowering, innovative, and trend-setting. Why is it that when Mariah set the trend, she was mocked, but when others followed, they were celebrated? This double standard can't be ignored. Another angle is the role of race and presentation. Mariah, as a biracial woman with a more ambiguous public identity, wasn't always embraced by the mainstream in the way Beyoncé and J.Lo later were. Industry experts have long pointed out how Mariah was marketed in fragmented ways, limiting her ability to hold cultural dominance across all demos. Meanwhile, others arrived with clear, polished branding designed to take over. And let's not forget the business machine behind it all. Beyoncé and J.Lo had massive backing from corporate brands, film studios, and fashion labels. Mariah's rise, though supported early on, became rocky as she fought for autonomy. Her battle for creative control and identity cost her industry support, something the newer stars were handed on a silver platter. It's not just talent that builds careers, it's access, connections, and timing. There's also a conversation around creative erasure. Mariah was one of the few female artists in her era to write, produce, and arrange her own music. Yet, her role as a behind-the-scenes architect was often downplayed. Meanwhile, newer stars benefited from writing teams and producers, but were still praised as creative geniuses. Is this a misunderstanding or intentional historical revision? Even Mariah's influence on music videos and pop aesthetics has been conveniently overlooked. Long before visual albums were a trend, Mariah was crafting cinematic videos with storytelling, choreography, and thematic depth. Her Heartbreaker video was a precursor to the kind of conceptual visuals we now associate with Beyoncé. Why are her contributions only acknowledged in hindsight? And perhaps most telling is how Mariah has become a cautionary tale rather than a celebrated pioneer. Industry conversations often frame her story as one of fame turned tragic, ignoring her ongoing impact, reinventions, and resilience. This narrative benefits those who want to rewrite history in a way that uplifts the present and buries the past. But Mariah isn't done rewriting her story. Mariah's influence also extends to how women in music handle vulnerability. She was one of the first major artists to openly incorporate emotional breakdowns, heartbreak, and mental health into her lyrics, years before it became mainstream. Today, artists are applauded for their emotional transparency. But when Mariah did it, she was criticized. Was she ahead of her time, or simply too honest for an industry that feared raw truth? Let's talk fashion. From body-hugging silhouettes to butterfly motifs and glam slipper aesthetics, Mariah's style in the late 90s and early 2000s set the tone for red carpet trends that followed. Both Beyoncé and J.Lo have incorporated similar fashion choices in music videos and awards shows. Coincidence? Or yet another echo of Mariah's uncredited influence? Even the holiday industry wasn't immune to her brilliance. All I Want for Christmas Is You reshaped the modern holiday music playbook and made Mariah a permanent fixture in culture. The success of seasonal branding that other artists now attempt, holiday albums, themed performances, product launches, traces right back to her. Yet few acknowledge her role as the pioneer of pop's most lucrative seasonal moment. So where does that leave us now? Mariah's voice, once buried beneath layers of industry politics and image control, is now echoing louder than ever. She's not asking for validation. She's demanding historical correction. Not to tear anyone down, but to reinsert herself where she belongs, at the top of the conversation. This isn't just about pop stars. It's about power, perception, and payback. The way stories get told. The way legacies get molded. Mariah Carey isn't throwing shade. She's turning on the spotlight, and the industry is finally being forced to look. Let us know what you think in the comments. Is Mariah reclaiming what's hers? Or is this just the beginning of a larger reckoning the music world has been avoiding for far too long?